We have a shocking Rockets trade proposal, as this is absolutely insane. Today on Rockets Digest, we tackle the Kyrie Irving Rockets rumors, what a trade would look like, if it would be a good idea, and the latest on your H-Town team right here on Rockets Digest. Welcome, everybody. I'm Jace Andrews. I appreciate you hanging out with me and tuning in to today's show. Real quickly, I want to remind you to hit that subscribe button if you're looking for daily coverage of the Houston Rockets. We've got live streams, we've got watch-alongs, we've got shorts, we've got videos just like this. So for all your Houston Rockets content in one singular place, no better place than here. Go down there, hit that subscribe button. I promise you'll not regret it. Okay, let's talk about the latest Rockets wranglings throughout this season. So I think the first thing we have to talk about is the point guard situation. We know that that was a relatively high concern at the beginning of the year, whether or not they were going to use Amin Thompson, Reed Sheppard, how this offense was going to work. Well, that was quickly solved by the play of Reed Sheppard. He is now the youngest guard in NBA history to record 4 straight double-digit scoring games with an 80% true shooting percentage or higher. He had 21 points, 16 points, 16 points, and 12 points, and he continues to play at a very high level, even past this 4-game stretch. And so, with that all to be said, the Rockets, I guess, rumors of going out there and trying to get a point guard, they have subsided a little bit, but that was before the Mavericks started to look like they were not a playoff team. That's what leads us into today's topic and talking about Kyrie Irving and whether or not this is actually a product worth consuming, a product worth actually pursuing in a lot of ways. Now, Kevin Durant and Kyrie back together would be kind of cool, obviously spending some time together in Brooklyn. But overall, we have to look into the actual logistics behind this and whether or not it would be a good trade for the Houston Rockets, and kind of all of that would be a very huge part for the Rockets to kind of make the right decision ultimately, because Reed Sheppard is playing to a high level, and that's kind of how we're seeing it now. So what does this trade look like? Well, we have a couple of different scenarios we can talk about, but ultimately there's a one viral mock trade that is going across the land. It's going to be costing one of the beloved veterans for the Rockets. However, it's a beloved veteran that is not playing currently. Yes, you heard me right. That's Fred VanVleet. So here is the Rockets trade proposal before we get too far into this show. The Dallas Mavericks would receive Fred VanVleet, Dorian Finney-Smith, who just signed a 4-year contract that in theory is just a 2-year, because after that second year it's not guaranteed money, and then a 2029 first-round pick. It's the second least favorable from Dallas, Phoenix, or Houston. So in theory they could be getting their own pick back, but it's a weird, complicated thing that these NBA trades are. In return, the Houston Rockets would receive Kyrie Irving. Let's talk about the baseline of this real quick and whether or not this is a good idea. So I want to go to James Piercy of Space City Scoop. Now, mind you, he does not agree with this trade. He believes this trade is not going to help out the Rockets. I'll kind of save my opinion for a moment, but he says this: if anything, VanVleet is a better fit alongside Sheppard. He's a better defender than Irving, so he's got more off-ball value. There's also the gulf between the two in terms of off-court value. VanVleet is a mentor. Irving is, well, Kyrie Irving. We know that Kyrie is not exactly the mentor kind, the veteran leadership kind that Fred VanVleet is. However, he does have the basketball skills that could definitely improve this team. And so, looking at this trade, does it inherently help the Rockets? I think in some ways, yes, I really do. I think Kyrie coming in here makes the Rockets a better team right now. But that's also because Fred VanVleet is injured for this entire year, and Dorian Finney-Smith, we've gotten no updates. He got injured around training camp, and since then, we've just been kind of, oh, his return could be soon, and we've gotten no updates. So in this contest, what you are trying to kind of look at is the bigger picture, because right now, you're getting Kyrie Irving for a first-round pick is kind of the switch. Obviously, that's not the true meaning of this, because you are giving DFS and Fred VanVleet, but they haven't played this year. So the question is this trade valuable? Would this be something you'd consider? And I'll give you my opinion, and then I'm going to ask for yours. So in terms of whether this trade is valued at a decent price, I don't know. I think that the Mavericks are getting the better deal, because VanVleet technically is under contract next year. DFS is another year under a contract, and then 2 more years that are non-guaranteed money that the Mavericks can decide if they want to keep him or not. And they're getting a first rounder for Kyrie Irving, who, forgive me wrong, but is going into a contract year. So in all aspects of this trade, it makes the Rockets better, yes, inherently, but it's costing them a lot of things in the future. And so if I were Rafael Stone, I wouldn't mind trading for Kyrie Irving, but it would have to be for the right price, and this is certainly not the right price. So I ask you the question today, with that trade, would you accept it? Again, it'd be Fred VanVleet, Dorian Finney-Smith, a 2029 first-round pick, and in exchange, the Rockets would receive Kyrie Irving. If you would accept this trade, then I want you to type T for trade. If you're thinking this is not a good deal, you agree with James Piercy with Space City Scoop and feel that this is not something the Rockets need to do, then I want you to type P for pass. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Are you making this trade or not? T for trade, P for pass. Personally, I'm a pass. I think I have to. I mean, as much as I like Kyrie Irving and the offense he would bring to this team, I would rather not give up DFS, who we signed this offseason. I still believe he can come back and be a reputable force for this team. I'd rather not give up Fred VanVleet, who will be back next season, and I do believe will be a key part of this team. Now that you have Kevin Durant, and the potential of Tari Eason staying is still there. I know he's a restricted free agent, but I don't see Kyrie Irving as being that guy, especially with the contract year. And so in that situation, what you would have to be betting on is that Kyrie Irving is going to come in here and immediately get you a championship so that next year, whether you re-sign him or whatever you do with that point guard situation without Fred VanVleet and without Dorian Finney-Smith and without your first-round pick, you've already had a championship. But if you're not going to be like, okay, well, that makes us a championship team, that makes us compete with the Oklahoma City Thunder, then why make the trade? Why even consider the trade? And so that's kind of where I stand, especially when you talk about the play of Reed Sheppard. He has done what you have asked him to do. He gets better every single game. You got the Cavs game this evening. By the way, we'll be live for that, so hopefully you stick around and join us there. But he's averaging almost 23 minutes per game now. Got double digits in points. His rebounds are overall solid. His assists are solid. Field goal and three-point percentage are very, very good. And at the end of the day, he's 21 years old. I'd rather keep playing him, keep getting his reps, and avoid the Kyrie Irving drama / what would he bring to this team in all legitimacy, and worry about, okay, we're not betting all of our future here on this one player. We're saying we have Reed Sheppard, we trusted him, and that, next season, we're going to have Fred VanVleet back. Now, there's also the part of Kyrie Irving's off-court issues. And that's where James Piercy kind of finishes out his article, saying, quote, I won't belabor the point, but it bears mention. Trouble has followed Irving throughout his NBA career. He is undeniably a risk. The Rockets don't need to be taking risks. They're playing well. They ought to leave well enough alone and let the Mavericks find another landing spot for Irving, end quote. Would it be cool to see Kyrie Irving? Yes. Would it be nice to have him on the Rockets and have that offensive presence this season? Yes. Is there external issues that I don't want to deal with? Yes. Is there external factors in this trade that I'm not willing to give up my first-round pick that I acquired and all this? My dynasty somewhat in a lot of ways with Fred VanVleet, Dorian Finney-Smith, and this first-round pick creating a better future for the Rockets than what they already have? Yes. Would it be cool? Would it be fun? Fantastic. But maybe I'm off temper here. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Is Kyrie Irving worth the risk? Do you think the Rockets are playing well enough to this point that trading for Irving would get them to the championship level that they could go out there and officially compete with the Rockets, or with the Thunder rather? I personally think they could do that already, but would that put them above OKC? Potentially. That's all we got for you here today on Rockets Digest, my friends. I really do appreciate you hanging out with me and tuning into the show. Like I said, live stream tonight. Cavs, Rockets, ESPN, big game. We'll talk about all of it on the show, so stick around. We'll be live there at about, game starts at 6 p.m. Central Time, so we'll be live around 5:45. I'm excited. We'll talk to you then. Peace out, guys.